So, Lanfranc question. Quite a tough one. It's quite easy to explain how Lanfranc increased control of Norman control of the church itself. And that can certainly be one of your paragraphs, all that pluralism, nepotism, blah blah, which you can see in the textbook pages. But it's a bit of a jump to think about how it helped to increase his control of England. Well, it did. And the Archbishop of Canterbury was the key ecclesiastical position in the country. It was the most powerful position in the church, and Lanfranc was a firm ally of William. Stigand, the man he replaced, was not. He was an Anglo-Saxon. He wasn't a firm ally of William. And Lanfranc, being the most powerful person in the church and an ally of William, well, that was quite important, because at the time everybody was very religious, or you could say very pious, and therefore they thought life was short, cruel, hard. Life expectancy wasn't very long. They'd die and then they'd be rewarded for eternity in heaven or in hell. So they had to do what God wanted, and the priests, they gave across the message of God. So they had to do what the priest wanted. Now, if Lanfranc is a supporter of William and he gives the bishops and the priests their instructions, he's going to enforce what William wants, effectively. And people are going to do what William wanted more readily, because their instinct is to do what the priests tell them to do. And here's something interesting that you might have picked up from the pages, that Lanfranc allegedly said, "I cannot give any orders that contradict the king's instruction." So in other words, he was going to stay in line. He was going to do what William wanted him to do, and so the bishops below him, and so the priests below that, and therefore that message, or whatever message William wanted to get across to the population, was going to be reinforced. Furthermore, Lanfranc would have a hand in appointing the people to other important positions in the church, the key bishops, and so on and so forth. And if it wasn't him deciding it would be William and him together. So it really meant that they had a stranglehold over ecclesiastical matters, which in 2018 is not maybe so important anymore, because there's less people who are really religious and people of all different religions. But then everybody was religious and everybody was Christian, and everybody, it wasn't like they believed in heaven or hell. To them it was fact. So it was very important for William to have somebody in the church in that key position who was one of his key supporters, and appointing Lanfranc did that. So that might help you to explain. There were only 3 abbeys by 1086 that had English abbots. Every single bishop by the time William died, except one, came from Normandy and other parts of France. And this is all that accelerated when Lanfranc became the Archbishop of Canterbury, and all of it increases William's control of England. But it's not necessarily the main consequence of Lanfranc's appointment. And there you go. Hopefully that video helps.